Hello dear students, my name is Ankita and I am teaching as an assistant professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering at St. Andrews Institute of Technology and Management, Gurugram. I welcome all of you to the lecture 12th of my online lecture series of object oriented programming, and in this video we are going to study next topic of unit 4th. In previous video we studied basic concepts of exception handling. We saw how try, catch and block, try, catch and throw, these three keywords will help to handle the exceptions. Okay, so we saw the flow of execution or flow of control which is transferred from try to throw. First of all, throw gives the control to catch where the exception is actually handled. So in this video we will saw exception handling mechanism again, the throwing mechanism and the catching mechanism separately, and that we will do with the help of examples. So as in previous video we saw the exception handling mechanism is done with the help of these three keywords. Try contains the statements which may generate the exceptions, and when exceptions are detected, then these exceptions are thrown with the help of throw keyword. Throw contains the statements which tells catch block about the exceptions that has occurred, and the catch block finally has the solution or the handling mechanism to solve that exception. Okay, so the sequence of these three blocks are as follows. Try, first of all we have to write the try block. In try block we have to give the expression which will throw an exception, and this exception is thrown towards the catch block, where the catch block handles the same type of exception defined by the ARG argument type. Okay, this argument may be of any type, whether integer, float or character whatsoever. So we will see that with the help of example also. First of all, try to understand that when try block throws an exception, then the control of the program enters into the catch block and follows the statements we have written in the catch block. And here in this example also, and in this particular format also, the exceptions are thrown to the object as the object which transmits the information about the problem that has occurred, and if the type of the object thrown matches to the argument type, so if these two things are matched, then this particular catch block will be working to solve this exception only. If the type of the object shown matches the argument type in the catch statement, then catch block is executed for handling the exception, and if they do not match, then the program is aborted with the help of abort function, which is called implicitly. Basically, this is the abort function when this argument type and this exception expression doesn't match. If it is of character type, then type should be character here, and if it is any number of integer or float, then this type should be either integer or float. So if these types doesn't match, then the abort function is called, then the program gets aborted when no exception is detected. Okay, so there may be chances that there is no exception, or you have given input in such a manner that there are not any chances to encounter the exception, then the statement after the catch blocks, they are executed in the normal fashion. Okay, so this is the program to handle the exception, or you can say when an exception is thrown, how it is handled by the catch block. So when I run this program, it will ask you to enter the values of A and B. So for example, if I enter 30 and then 30 again, so what will happen? It will produce A minus B, that is 0, and it will divide 30 with 0, because A divided by X we did, and X was the subtraction of A minus B, so exception code. When I run this program for the second time, and say 32, it will produce the output, because this condition, if x is not equal to 0, was satisfied, that was not equal to 0. So divide by 0 occurred in a proper manner. So you are writing a program that from that program you are expecting a proper output, but if due to some inputs or due to any reason your program behaves abnormally, then your program should inform you that exception or the error situation or the abnormal condition has occurred into your program. So for such purpose we write the exceptions, the exception handling mechanisms also. So this is the very good example to define the exception handling. Okay, so usually what we have in our program, I have written this program into main function directly, but we also write user defined functions also. So we can define or throw an exception using a function also, or you can say a function which throws an exception that can be invoked by the try block, or try block can call any function which may face the exception. So as this format is a format I have displayed here, so the moment or the point where the exception, from where the exception is thrown, that point is known as the throw point. So this point is known as this stage is known as the throw point. Okay, so we will see this with the help of example. So we have written above program into a complete main function. We can have situation also that we have our user defined function, and in that user defined function we may have the exceptions also, or you can say that user defined function may throw an exception. Try block will be calling any function which is user defined or which we have defined separately. So that function also will be able to throw an object which is having exception. So the point at which the throw is expected or is executed, that is known as the throw point. So here this is known as the throw point, and once the exception is thrown to the catch block, that it cannot get back to the throw point. Okay, so first of all try block is encountered, the function will be called first, and then function throws the exception. This is known as the throw point, and then throw followed the catch block wherein we have the exception handling statements. Consider this example. We have here the one divide function. The similar example we did yesterday in the previous video also. This is the divide function. It is having x, y and z, three variables are there inside functions. It is checking whether x minus y is not equal to 0. If it is equal to 0, then throw the exception. If it is not equal to 0, then perform the division. So z will be divided by the subtraction of x and y, and it will display the result. If it is not true, that means if it is false, then it will throw an exception that x minus y has encountered, which is a throw point. Okay, so this is the throw point. And in main function, obviously try will occur only in main function. In previous video also I highlighted that try block will be written in main function because try block will be the first keyword which will be informing the program about the exception. So it will just include the statement that try some certain block or some certain user defined function. So try will always be written in main function, where however a user defined function may also have a try block within it. So that try block will be local to that user defined function. So here in main function we have written try, and it is calling this function 2 times, and on basis on these values, if the exception occurs, it will perform this statement, and if exception occurs, it will go to the catch block and caught the exception. It will display caught the exception, and this is the format of the output which you will get after this. So if you want to run this program also, so we will do that also. So when I run this program, it will give you the this output. Okay, so you can see how we got this output. By changing the different inputs, you can check whether the exception occurs or not. So here in the second point we got the exception because 50 these are the x, y. So when we subtract x and y, we get 0, and 20 will be divided by 0, so divide by 0 will happen here. Okay, After this example, this is catching mechanism. A C++ exception can be caught by a catch handler that specifies the same type as the thrown exception, or by a handler that can catch any type of exception. If the type of throw exception is a class, then which has also the base class or classes, it can be caught by the handler that accepts base classes of the exceptions type, so as well as the reference of the base classes of the exception type. So it is saying that you can pass base class as an exception also inside the catch block, okay, or you can pass reference of base classes also as the exception type. We can have multiple catches in our function also. So as you can see in this figure, there is a try block and catch type 1 argument, type 2 argument, up to type n argument. The similar example was there in previous video also. So when any exception is thrown, the exception handler searched in order for an appropriate match. The first handler that yields a match, that is executed, and after executing that handler, the control goes to the first statement after the catch block after this. So whatever argument the catch and throw matches, that appropriate catch is executed, and after that the control goes back to the outside of the catch block. Okay. There may be case that when no match is found, then the program is terminated. As we discussed, program will be terminated, and in that case it will follow the next statements after the catch block. Okay, so the program, I have written a program also which is defining the multiple catches also. This is the same example we studied in previous video, so that you can relate the topics, because topics of this video and previous one are similar. So this particular program is defining the catching mechanism. So we can have multiple catches also, and we also studied about the generalized catch, which was defined, which was written like in this way. Three dots were there, and according to the throw expression, it will put those arguments inside this catch, and it will execute the catch block. So this we saw in the previous video. Run this program on the online editor, and by changing the different values, you can see the execution of this program or behavior of this program. Okay.